Sarah here, and today I'm going to show you how to make these fun fridge magnets using some simple tools and some rare earth magnets. So these are rare earth magnets and they're on the back, and then you can hang up all your fun things on the fridge. You can say things like good job, great job. You can make hearts and flowers and all kinds of things to put on the fridge and any other magnetic surface that you have. So come on into my studio and join me. Let's get started. I'm going to use a whole bunch of things today to just make some fun fridge magnets because I have nephews and my sister has a lot of stuff she needs to put on the fridge. So my selection here includes a bunch of Primo Accents clay. I have sunset pearl, yellow gold glitter, white gold glitter, a color that I mixed myself out of white gold, yellow gold, and some purple pearl. This is magenta pearl. All these pearl colors are my favorites. This is, I think it's periwinkle. And then I have some Pearlex. I have antique gold, silver, and Aztec gold, which is a more shiny, bright gold. I have a circle cutter because I'm going to make a frame. I've got our swirly heart and dotty heart molds from Polymer Clay TV. The crown mold because I do have a little niece too, and I'm going to see all my nieces and nephews soon, so I can give these all to my brothers and sisters for their wonderful fridges because I don't have kids of my own. And then I have the bunting mold, and I have the hearts border cutter, and this fun thing, which we don't currently carry in the shop, but if you like these, let us know in the comments and we'll see if we can get them. This is a set of tiny letter stamps, and they're great. They snap together for storage. You can also snap them together to make words, but I feel like maybe the letters might be a little far apart and I'd rather place the word myself. So I'm going to keep them like this because they are rather, small and thin. And if you just threw them in a drawer, I'm sure you would lose a letter. But it's really cool because they snap together. So let's get started. Okay, I conditioned my clay and I got another piece of this Teflon so that I can work around with it. And you're always going to want to start with a pile of conditioned clay. This clay is the number 3 on my pasta machine, which is going to fit in my little heart frame here. So I'm going to go ahead and press this in here. And then gently peel it out. Okay, look how cute that is. This project is going to be so fun and easy. You could even do it with the kids. Okay, so I've got these little hearts, and then you end up with little hearts stuck inside there that you need to pop out. So I always keep a stick around for that. You're probably, unless you're really precise about where you poke these holes, not going to be able to keep those. Maybe you can. I'll just set them off to the side. And then I'm going to make the word great. And I think I'm going to alternate maybe between, this color and the other metallic color that I've got. So the word great is a good word because there's nothing repeated in it. In case you felt like baking the letters right in the mold, which some people really like to do. You need surprisingly little clay to fill this bunting. You just press the clay in, get it into all the little corners. Make sure you're pressing it down so it picks up the stitching detail and the letter itself. So really jam it in there. And I'm going to let that sit while I do my other letters. So I need G, R, E. E is right up here. And the great thing about molding is if you didn't put enough in, you can always shove a little more in the back to fill it. Okay, so there's the G and the E. Now we need the A. Okay, so remember how I said I was going to alternate? So I've got G, R, E, A, T in alternating colors. And now I'm going to set that up on my tile because after I design this, I don't really want to have to move it. So I'm going to make it like a little bunting with the little hearts dangling below. And I'm just going to pop these out. So I've got the G here. I'm just going to lay them out first and see how much space I'm working with. Here's the R, E. You see how easy these come out. If you let them sit for a minute to firm up, then it's a little bit better. Excuse me. So I've got G-R-E-A-T with hearts. So where do I want these to be? G-R-E. Maybe I will do it like this. E. A. T. Like that. I'm going to use some silver Pearl-Ex. You know what? I think I might need something darker than that. What do you think? A lot of times where you thought you were going to go, you can't go there because your colors aren't going to contrast enough. So I'm going to use the antique gold instead because the antique colors tend to be sort of deeper. I just want those letters to stand out. And then maybe the stitching too, because the buntings have this great little stitching detail on the edge. So you can see now the word that I wrote. And I'm going to drape the hearts sort of between. And maybe I can use these little hearts that I got. And I can put it right up here between my letters. And then just touch a little bit of the gold on the bottom of the hearts, bring it all together. And then I'm going to bake that and move on to the next thing. So I'm just going to mold these hearts. This is the magenta pearl. And this mold is quite firm. It's a nice little mold. And molding something like this is really easy. You just need to Get some pressure on the middle and then spread the clay out to the edges. And then I like to sort of push on the edges to get the clay not overflowing. And if you put too much in, you can always use your blade to scrape it back, but I did a pretty good job there. For some reason, you know, one of my superpowers is knowing how much clay is going to fit in a mold. So I'm going to set that aside. The reason I'm setting things aside is because it is warm, it's summer, and if you go grabbing your molds and trying to demold them too quickly, then you tend to kind of distort them and mess them up a little bit. Okay, this is the Sunset Pearl, which I'll use to do this little heart, the swirly heart. And with a heart with this much detail, or any mold with this much detail, you want to make sure that you're pressed firmly down in the middle and spreading it out. That way you pick up all those details. Okay, set that one aside. I'm going to make a little crown. I like this little one because this is the one I'm going to use for the those tiny little letters. So I'm going to make a small crown to go with it. A little bit more of this. This is the white gold Primo. Primo just came out with some fantastic metallic glittery colors that I love. So I've been using them a lot in my playtime. I like glitter and metallic. They're my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and I think I am going to use this color for my stamping. I'm going to stamp and create my little shape right here because on the tile, that way I won't have to move it afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write good job. G. You see, they just snap apart. These are great. I like them. O, O. D. You just stamp straight up and down. And let me find the J. J, and I can see what I'm doing. Oh, I really like these. Okay, J-O-B. O. B. And if you could see me while I'm doing this, I am leaning over on this side and just watching as I press it straight up and down. So now it says good job, and I'm just going to reassemble my stamp. And my stamps are back in a nice neat little row, and I'm going to take this crown out of the mold and decide, I think probably right there or right here. There is good. So I'm just going to cut this because it's going to be a magnet. So I don't have to do anything super special here except just cut it down to the size that I want. and put a little pigment powder on it because that will help bring out the letters even more so you can read what it says. So I just do it with my finger. That's just a little silver powder. And I'm going to press down the edges so that they're not so pointy, smoothing them out. Then I'm going to stick my little crown on the corner there and use some gold to highlight the design on the crown. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Maybe even go around the edges of this with the gold. Pop these other things out of their molds. This one is a very stiff mold, so you're going to want to maybe even stick it down. See if you can. Normally I might just bake this right in the mold, but I want to put Pearl X on it, so I'm going to, just as carefully as I can, pull it out of here. Just takes a little coaxing to get an edge up. There we go. Okay, and make sure it's lying flat. This one, you can sort of push it to the point where you can grab an edge and pop it out. Oh, that is such a pretty little mold. Okay, and then a little bit of Pearl X and I'll be all set and ready to bake these. And when they come out of the oven, they just get a magnet on the back. This is like the easiest, quickest little project. Pearl X on these swirl designs to make them stand out. And you see you can do them in any color. You know, you could do them blue if you have boys. You can do them purple, aqua, whatever color your kids like. I like the pink hearts because, you know, as a mom, you're the, you maybe, or grandma, you identify pink with hearts. Usually your head doesn't have a problem with that. So pink it is, because I like these pink colors. But you can, you know, who cares? Good job is not gender specific, right? So there's our great banner and our little hearts and the good job. And what I will do when these are done is I'll take some of my Gorilla Super Glue, which I really love for this. If you have E6000, it's the same idea. E6000 will work too. A lot of people have that at home. I like the Gorilla because it's less fumey and it dries faster. And then these are rare earth magnets. This is a stack of them. So they're tiny but super strong. And they make really great magnets. So you just pick these off the tile when they're done baking and glue a magnet on the back. Simple as that. I hope you have a great time making some fun display things to put on your fridge, and that your kids are all after school happy and glad to be back learning great things, and that they bring home really fun things for you to hang up and display. See you next time.